Okay, it is 11:11 and it's Saturday on Saturday, January 31st at 11:11 in the year 2026, and here we are. We actually had a little bit of a timeline, um I don't know, what would you call it? Timeline earthquake, where suddenly Stephanie said, "Hey, aren't we going live in a few minutes?" And I sort of snapped out of this. I don't know where I was. I was in some other time. So we are now back to our regular scheduled reality, I guess you'd call it. And we are online. Sorry for the abrupt creation of this live stream. And I'm sure some of you have come to expect this from time to time and knew that it would come up at the last moment. And so, very good. Well, welcome everyone. I'm Stephen the Channeler.
And this is Stephanie.
And we are here for another session of Questions for the Dragon. We meet every Saturday at 11:11 so that you all can have access to Jadon Se, a golden dragon of the third arc of consciousness. He's a cosmic golden dragon, and so he has sort of a unique perspective on things from a human standpoint, and it can be fun to ask questions and to get clarifications. And we encourage that your questions not get too personal or specific about, like, whether or not you're seeing a certain type of being in your world or something. And unless it's of interest to everyone gathered, please refrain from highly personal questions. Otherwise, we'll just go down a bunch of rabbit holes and everybody else will be rolling their eyes in the background, and we don't want that. So please try to make your questions of interest to everyone gathered. And we will also, Jadon Se will do sort of an energetic reading for everyone gathered, and that's for anyone who gives permission to have their energies accessed, so that they can be incorporated into the reading. And he will draw one of our new oracle cards as well. Okay, so before we really get started, let's see. We have some announcements. The oracle cards physical deck has been printed and it's being shipped to us. So we're excited. We can't wait to open the box and see all the beautiful little decks of cards. And then it'll be a flurry of activity to get them all shipped out to those who have pre-ordered. And we are still trying to work out the wrinkles of creating a thank you gift for the pre-order people. We're trying to put together a wooden box. We're having some issues with whether or not the cards will actually quite squeeze into this box. So anyway, more on that as it comes. We may give you a choice between having your cards shaved down a little to go into this custom box, or just to have the box show up for other things that you can put in them. Perhaps it'll have Jadon Se engraved on the front of. We have a laser engraver, and so we're going to be custom making some wooden boxes. So that's exciting. Our level 1 classes for February start tomorrow. So this is the very last call for signups for the Working with Dragon Energies level 1 class for February. It's a series of 4 classes, about 2 hours each, and starting tomorrow. So last call for that. Once we start the class, we close signups, and then you would have to wait another month for the March classes. So last call for that. I think there are some 10 people signed up or something like that for the class at present. So there's definitely room for more. And let's see what else. The Oracle deck is available on the app stores as well as an app. And it's sort of a talking Oracle deck. It's kind of beautiful to have. You pull a card and Jadon Se will give you an actual channeled voice reading of the guidance for that card. So if you want that on your phone, you want Jadon Se in your pocket, head on over to the App Store, either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store, and do a search for Golden Dragon Oracle Deck. Golden Dragon Oracle Deck. And all of these things help support us. We're trying to make this all work and keep it sustainable. So in any way that you can support us, we really do appreciate it. We also have an account at buymeacoffee.com if you want to give your financial support. And there's more on all this stuff, how to support us, at jadonse.com. That's JADONSE.com. And that's also where you can sign up for classes and order your Oracle deck, the physical one. And yeah, so we do appreciate all the support. Speaking of support, it really helps us a lot if you like and subscribe to the YouTube videos and the lives. There's something on lives now called a hype. You can hype our live if you're on a mobile device, and I think it's after the live is over. You go into the description for the live, and somewhere on the right, I think you swipe right, and then there's a hype button. So they don't make it easy, but it does help us if we get our word out to a larger audience. And, this is in support of the ascension of Gaia. So thank you for your support, everyone. We do appreciate it. So we will do some shout outs. I'll do the first ones, and maybe Stephanie can do the ones at the end. And while we're doing that, we haven't brought up our little we were kind of scrambled to go online, so there's a few things we'll have to do in the background. Let's see. So, where on this beautiful Gaia are you right now? We'll do shout outs. Stephanie, would you like to shout them out, or
I don't have the screen yet.
Okay, well,
you have to bring up the screen and we can do it together.
we'll just wing it here.
You can go ahead and do the shout outs.
Okay, I'll try to
be. See them.
I'll try to be speaking and doing things with my keyboard all at the same time. Okay, so we have, let's see, North Bend, Oregon is in the house. We have Toronto, Canada. We have San Francisco, California. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania is in the house. We have Aho from Utah, and that must be Woosta, Utah. And we have Groves, Texas in the house. We have Faro, Portugal. Queensland, Australia. Beautiful and welcome. We have Folsom, California. The Netherlands. Yay. Thailand. All right, we're going global here. And we should bring up the map while we're doing this. It's kind of fun to look at who's all around here. We have, it's Worcester, Massachusetts, not Worcester, Utah. Sorry. Okay, we have, let's see, Iragon, Olegon. I don't know if this is on another planet, perhaps. That's interesting. Maybe there's someone from the Dragon Realms coming through here. Okay, who else is in the house? We have Norway in the house. Beautiful energies, you guys. Surprise, Arizona. All right. And Stephanie brought me coffee. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Coffee. Belgium, traveling. Beautiful. All right, Arno, you're traveling around Belgium. All right, very good. Okay, well, maybe don't crash into any fairies or any, mystical animals that pop out in front of your car. Oregon. Okay, that's the strange. We thought we were in the Dragon Realm there. I guess we're in Oregon, where this person has an interesting way of typing. Okay, we have Yakima, Washington, is in the house. All right, very good. Okay, beautiful energies coming through. So, thank you all for joining. Stephanie, do you have anything for our tribe this morning?
I guess I can share that I've been capturing in the Mount Shasta area fantastic images of the galactic clouds and rainbow hues, which are very encouraging when we look up at times and see crud in the skies. And it just fills my heart with joy when I see the rainbows and the galactics. I feel like they're helpers.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's been encouraging.
It's kind of amazing to see some of the clouds around Mount Shasta. They're, science tries to explain them. Oh, they're lenticular clouds, and they always form around conical-shaped mountains. And and you can look at that and say, yeah, that's very true. And there's also something else going on
Yeah.
because,
And it's usually at a time when, like me and Steven, some people get a little heavy hearted when they see the spraying in the skies. And so I always call out to the galactics for support and the divine realm. And it seems like within 24 hours, there's a pretty nice response. Like, we're here, we're helping, we're with
yeah.
you, hang in there. So, yeah, it's
Yeah,
encouraging.
the Gaia does respond to us. It's really amazing. I can't tell you guys how many times we have just had a discussion with Gaia about asking for moisture or rain and requesting it within like 4 days or something like that. And boom, 4 days. The forecast will show dryness for the next 3 weeks or something. And within a few days of asking, like you'll see the weather report changes. Gaia responds like when you speak directly to her with your heart and just really you know do it in a way that's respectful for all the animals, like as appropriate. I don't want my own personal weather here. We're just asking for it for everyone. And when you do this and you open your heart, it's amazing the response that happens. It's beyond magical. Beautiful. So I think we have a few more people joining here. Let's see. So yes, we have Yakima, Washington, Georgia, USA. Okay, good to differentiate from Georgia, the nation, right? We have Tyrol, Austria in the house, and some big love frequencies that Arno is reporting. So yeah, we feel that too at times. It's sometimes you get these big blasts of beautiful, warm-hearted energy coming through. So, okay, very good. Well, we're going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to bring Jadon Se in. Sorry if I'm a little nasal this morning. I'm okay. There's no I don't have a cold or anything. It just happens from time to time, dust or something in the air. So, apologies if my voice sounds a little nasal. So. Okay, let's bring Jadon Se in. Oh, Vietnam is in the house. Beautiful. Okay, Jadon Se does have something to say here, so he's sort of elbowing and nudging. We'll let him come in here. I am Jadon Se, Golden Dragon of the Third Arc of Consciousness. And this is another gathering of questions for the dragon. Dear ones, there are energies shifting upon this world, and we will speak of this in a moment. Your Saturday gatherings of questions for the dragon are appropriate for let us say, for the tribe to access the dragon, to clarify and to question the dragon, or to bring in energies and demystify things a bit. And let us just say that this is an opportunity for you to access this cosmic golden dragon. We are no longer at this point filling up the calendar with personal readings. So this is your access to me, and we do not charge for this. It is always a service, and we love doing this. We love to be available for you. Thank you to Stephanie for the nudge this morning. Your Stephen was in, let us say, a little interdimensional today, and so he was off drifting amongst the different realms of beingness. And dear ones, let us draw a card from the deck of oracle cards. Today, your card is nature magic, dear ones. Nature magic is, let us just say, the greatest healer that there is. And here is your guidance for this beautiful card of nature magic. When you want real miracles or healing to occur, dear ones, no magic is more potent than tapping into nature. The divine shines through every iota of nature, dear ones, and tapping into that beautiful presence is a surefire way to transform anything for the better. Dear ones, do not be bashful when it comes to calling in life force energy from nature. Dive into nature, dear ones. This is a powerful call to get barefoot on a beach or hug a tree in a forest or take a refreshing swim in a lake, dear ones. At the very least, you should lay on earth and look up at the clouds or stars. If it is frozen earth, just make a snow angel or something like this, dear ones. Enjoy yourselves. And once you have strongly reconnected with nature, there is a message at this time waiting for you. Each of you. Your Stephen was speaking of this connection with Gaia. Each of you has this connection. Treat her as a member of your family. She is so precious to each of us and each of you. Dear ones, revel in this relationship you have with this beautiful being, this beautiful world. And each of you is co-creating the world with her. And it is such a loving and beautiful co-creation. The other animals and beings upon your world are co-creating this experience along with you as well. So it is like a family gathering, and let love shine through every iota of creation, and there will most definitely be a message in that vibration for you. When you open your heart, there is always a message waiting. What is this? You have these message machines where people can leave messages for you, oftentimes loving messages, and then you retrieve them later. Well, dear ones, there are always messages waiting for you in the rainbow crystalline energies of Gaia. So tap into her beauty and be ready for communications to begin to flow. Many of you have been working with the dragon lines, and these are, let us say, networks of, it is very much like your telecommunications networks. They are conversations of energetic beingnesses, of beings here upon your earth. And also, dear ones, the star rivers interface with the crystalline lattice of your beautiful Gaia. So you can follow these communications up through the stars and into the cosmos as well. So just know that you are never alone, dear ones. There are some of you who are oftentimes feeling very alone and unsupported. And dear ones, if you are feeling this way, tap into this connection that you have with the loving beings here on your Gaia, the beingness of Gaia herself, and your star families. There is a conversation that is waiting to be had for any who are open to it. That is your extended nature magic reading for this beautiful oracle card, number 26, nature magic. Dear ones, I will give you, for those of you who have opened your energetics to this dragon, we will provide an extended reading from this. Let us just say, dear ones, that now is all is in perfect timing for you. Take action for those of you who have been holding energetics, feeling like you are just waiting to spring into action for something that you have dreamt about, something that you desire to bring forth. Now is the perfect time to spring into action, dear ones. You will be supported through it. And dear ones, there are a few of you, let us say, who are in need of healing of some sort, relationships that could be healed or renewed or rejuvenated in some way, refreshed, healed. Yes, dear ones. Let us just say this is a good time to double down on love. Double down on those around you who are important to you, who bring supportive and beautiful energies, and who so thrive on your support and your love, your energies. Double down on love, dear ones. Let us bring more and more of it to your friendships, your relationships with animals, your relationship with Gaia herself, yes, your star families, and yes, beings in your daily life. Let them know how you feel and shine this love from your beingness. Let it shine, let it glow from your heart, let it shine from your eyes. Dear ones, let us just say that there are some of you who have been struggling. Let us say that there have been difficulties in relationships and in maybe you're having feeling a little held back from your dreams. You are trying to bring your dreams into reality and you feel obstructed in some way. Let us just say a deeper honesty with yourself is needed for this. That all of your feelings, even the difficult ones, dear ones, have a message for you if you can only be honest enough to accept that message. Accept your truth, dear ones. Let the source take it from there. Source is the greater aspect of you, the greater beingness. Let us say the spirit that moves in all beings is always ready to assist and can only assist if you are honest, if you are truthful, if you are not turning away from the truth in some way or in denial, you might say. So this is, let us say, a reading for many of you who need this, that all is in perfect timing right now. Do not give up on love. Double down on it, dear ones, and be honest with yourself. These are the energetics that are most needed for those who are gathered at this time right now. Take that in, dear ones. And for those of you who can fully embrace this, let us say, these energetics, there are gifts waiting for you. Understandings, wisdom will come to you, and greater fulfillment of love, let us say. Yes, dear ones. Very good. These are your readings, starting with the doorway opening up with your nature magic card. Now we are going to open up to your questions for the dragon, clarifications, including clarifications of these readings, what is happening in today's world perhaps, or any questions that you might have for this cosmic golden dragon in working with dragon energies or living on this beautiful spinning world at this time, building your dreams, moving forward, etc. Please put them in the chat in uppercase, and as you do, your dearest Stephanie will read them out for you, and we will put them up on the screen.
Mountain Pyramid is asking and saying, hello, Nova Scotia, Canada. Oops. Love, may we please have a blessing for those miners and beings suffering in captivity, and a warrior peace and clarity blessing for all as the shift occurs. Thank you.
Dear ones, you may be confusing a little bit between your Wednesday blessings for the dragon and your Saturday questions for the dragon. Today is more of a decoding of information or thoughts or understandings, greater wisdom, less of a showering blessings upon the world, etc. So this is not a day of requesting blessings per se. However, let us just say that the question behind this blessing is that those who are suffering in captivity, clarity and blessing for the shift of this, let us just say that, yes, dear ones, there are, you might call this trafficking of the little ones and trafficking of innocence, taking advantage of beings who are, let us say, very open and giving or vulnerable in some way, or let us just say inappropriate undertakings in let us say, going against the free will of beings upon this world, beautiful, innocent ones. And these, let us say, dark energies have been operating, even, you might say, thriving upon this world for thousands of years. So many dark, let us say, inappropriate undertakings and even institutional undertakings occurring that, let us say, take advantage of innocence. And this is now coming to light, dear ones. The good news in all of this is that you are entering into, and have been entering into for some time, a period where the greater light is shining on these inappropriate undertakings, these inappropriate energies and systems and institutions. And because there is more and more light shining upon them, their activities are no longer going on somewhat in secret. And because of this, the good beings of your world are standing up and saying, we will not allow this. This is no longer occurring on our planet. We are... this is the warrior energy you are speaking of. The good people who are standing up and doing something about it. Many of you call them the white hats. Those who are acting in beauty and love and appropriate, let us say, dream weaving for a better, more grand future for all of humanity, especially the innocents and especially those who are vulnerable. Let us just say, now is a time for an awakening to occur on a grander scale. And the more those of you who help facilitate the awakening, the more those who awaken will stand up and say, no more of this. I claim a world where these inappropriate behaviors no longer happen, and where anything that has been institutionalized, or any structures or pathways for this are dismantled and, let us say, torn down, and there is no longer any sort of mechanism that allows for this, and indeed the flourishing of justice and truth take their place, dear ones. Yes, dear ones, this is... let us say that any information that you have that can be brought to greater awareness, any understandings, any awareness that you have of these inappropriate happenings, will facilitate as it spreads in waking up those around you to these inappropriate undertakings. As they come to light, they will naturally fall away. So yours is an assistance of spreading the awareness, dear ones, helping more light to be shined into the dark places, and demanding that justice and truth prevail.
I see. Daisy Tam 972. Jadon Se, are there dragons, guardians at the World National Parks like Yellowstone National Park in the USA, Algonquin Park in Canada, the Amazon jungle, the Sahara Desert in Africa, ecosystems?
Dear ones, understand that dragons are in every iota of every realm of creation, and dragons will take their leave and just, let us say, blend in with the surroundings when they are not welcomed. So it seems that dragons have left certain places at times. Truly, dragons never leave. They simply blend in and become quiet and patiently await those who are ready to work with their energies, those who are ready to be guided by their wisdom, or to help co-create with the dragon energies. And dear ones, you can walk in any natural place, whether it is a national park or some regional park, or simply just a wild place that is undeveloped, or even private property that is quote unquote owned by someone, which is, let us just say, just a trick of the mind. The only ownership of any beingness of creation is the creator itself, those who are in truth creating these realms. And it is not truly an ownership like a landlord sort of thing. It is just a loving co-creation. As an artist has some sort of ownership of the painting that he or she creates, and may gift it to someone or sell it to someone or part with it in some way. This is the sort of ownership. It is a co-creation sort of thing. So therefore, there is not one speck of your Gaia that is truly owned by someone or private property with these silly no trespassing signs and all of this. It is, let us just say, human behaviors that uphold these sorts of notions, and your laws and all of this are, let us just say, agreements that society carries. So the concept of private property is, let us just say, an agreement that is upheld by those who agree to it and to those rules. And so dragons supersede and transcend all of this, dear ones. No, if you see a no trespassing sign, it may be binding upon human forms, in some cultures, it is certainly not binding upon dragons. Dragons will respect the request for privacy, or will respect that beings may not wish to work with dragon energies at times, and so dragons are highly respectful of whether or not their help and presence is desired. And so you will see dragons more pronounced in certain places than others, only because beings such as you have called them into focus in certain places. And there are also areas that are, let us say, very potent in dragon energies because of their relationships with Gaia herself. And no sign of humanity will dismiss a dragon energy from a beautiful mountain that carries dragon energies. You can post your no passing signs until you're blue in the face, and the dragons will not leave these places. It is just that dragons do not appear to beings such as humans unless they are welcomed. And so they will just appear as regular rocks or regular trees or clouds in the sky or regular bodies of water, etc., until they are acknowledged and welcomed into a co-creative experience with another being. And so you can access dragon energies anywhere, at any time, in any realm. It does not matter whether they are natural places or busy cityscapes or the bedroom of your own home. Dear ones, bring a dragon image with you, and you are bringing dragon energies wherever you go. Wear dragon jewelry, carry a stone that is infused with dragon energies, and you are carrying dragon energies wherever you go. It is your choice to acknowledge and work with them or not. And we will take our leave if you wish your privacy from us. We will simply not disturb you. It is that simple.
Kelly is asking, what is the meaning in lifting of the veil?
Dear ones, many of you, let us say, are operating under an agreement of separation. So what is this separation? It is, let us say, agreeing to operate under the illusion that you are a separate being, and that your separate beingness has some sort of gap or space between you and other beings. And this gap, let us say, does not really turn into what you might consider to be the veil until there are beings on the other side that you cannot see and understand and work with, experience directly, so to speak. So there are various different veils, plural, that you might refer to. One is the veil of your own separation of beingness from other beings in your daily life. So you may be walking in some grocery store somewhere, and there are other humans around, and each one has their own separate life. It does not seem to overlap yours at all, except in the fact that perhaps you get a glance of them in some supermarket. And so therefore you feel completely separate from that being. And there are cars passing you on the highways, and you feel very separate from those drivers of these other cars. Of course, until one turns in front of you and there is an automobile accident, and then suddenly this collision lifts a part of this so-called veil, and you are thrust into having to have some sort of relationship, even if it is just exchanging information from your insurance companies, and standing around awkwardly waiting for the tow truck to take your wrecked vehicles away or what have you. Dear ones, let us just say, in that case, the veil grows very thin between the two of those automobile drivers for that moment and for that experience. And in the same way, let us just say that those cars that just whiz by you on the freeway, the veil is stronger, for you do not connect with them really in any meaningful way. They just simply pass you by. And then there is the veil that many of you refer to when a loved one transitions, quote unquote, to the other side. In other words, their body is no longer available for you to interact with, and therefore you feel like they have been removed from you, from your existence. Dear ones, this is the veil most people are referring to, the veil between the living and the dead, so to speak, or from your life here and the rest of the realms of creation, so that it seems that higher dimensions are hidden from you. It seems that angelic realms are hidden from you. Other worlds are hidden from you. You are just experiencing what is on this side of the veil, so to speak. So, what is this veil? This veil, dear ones, is, let us just say, more or less a manifestation or an experience of what you have agreed to in order to operate in this realm of density, this third dimension here. Not only the dimension, however, this world, let us say, this realm, for the earth herself is her own dimension, you might say, within the 3D, 4D, 5D, etc. realms, an overlapping beingness, let us say, operating multidimensionally as you do. And you just have this agreement that you cannot see beyond, let us say, your waking, normal, quote-unquote, reality. And so when someone transitions, say a loved one or a beloved pet, let us say, transitions to the other side, their body, they, let us say, step out of their body and move on into other realms that you cannot follow with your body and your awareness as it is, as you have agreed to it being, somewhat using this illusion of separation. So you must only experience on this side of the veil, so to speak, other beings with bodies, other beings with physical presences, and some of you have these, let us say, telepathy and ESP and understandings where you have connections with beings that are not physically present in front of you. Let us just say that even those of you who have these abilities, you have somewhat agreed to curtail these abilities, to limit them. You have twins that are connected to each other, and even when one twin is on another continent, they know exactly what the other is going through, or they can feel it energetically. And so, therefore, you have beings whose veils are variable, let us say. They are not hard and fast. You may know who it is that is calling you on the phone before the phone even rings. This is, let us say, a thinning of that veil, for they are not presently physically in front of you, speaking to you. So let us just say that many of you are using this very common agreement to operate in this density without distractions from other energetic connections you have beyond this density. This is very instructive. You are, let us say, this is very much like when we said that the dragons will take their leave if you do not wish to work with them. They will just blend in with the background and will not be seen and felt. It is very much like this when one of your loved ones passes to quote unquote the other side of the veil. They are simply upholding their agreement to remove themselves from your waking reality for a time so that you are not distracted by that connection. It is simply this: you do not ever lose someone you love. They are right there. They are aware of you, dear ones, very aware. And it is simply that you are not distracted by that connection for a time. It is an agreement, dear ones. It is not this veil is an illusion. It is simply just something that is there for your benefit so you are not distracted by the other realms.
Home John is asking, it was said repeated requests for the same blessing is not necessary. However, does this apply to lucid dream remembrance requests before bed, or must I request each time?
Dear ones, there is a difference between requesting a blessing and intending something to become truth or present in your beingness. And so let us just say that a blessing is an appeal to the greater beingness through the agency of another. When you are asking for a blessing, let us say you are asking from a blessing from a master or from a dragon or from a unicorn or from an angel or from the divine directly. You are asking in such a way that you are asking in a way that you feel separate from that being that you are asking of a blessing. So when you are asking to be blessed, you are asking for a boon, some sort of help from the agency of a being, whether this is a divine being or a magical being or etc. And this is separate from intending, manifesting, building your dreams. For when you do this, it is more of a direct, heartfelt connection with your own greater beingness, the greater beingness and existence of what is. And therefore, this question is a beautiful question, for it is a request for clarification. What is a blessing? Let us say that when you lay down for your sleep period and you are asking to remember your lucid dreaming, this is not requesting a blessing of another. Let us say this is intending. This is what is an intention. Let us just look at the word intend or intention. When you tend to do something, you have a tendency. This is like a tendency is very much like a habit. It is something that is second nature to you. You tend to do this or that. When something happens, I tend to do this in response to this. It is in a tendency. This is, let us just we will link it to a habit. So when you have a tendency to do something, it is something that you are, it is becomes second nature to you, let us say. And when you intend something, let us say that you are taking this tendency and bringing it to your experience, your inner worlds, your inner self. This is an a tendency within to do something. And when you are intent upon something. There is a tension. There is, it is a tension. It is intent and tense are very similar and very related, let us say. You are holding this intent. You are holding an inward tension, an inward tendency. You are declaring to existence that this is your inner self. Your inner self has accepted this as truth or as your agreement for a time, your tendency to do something or to intend something. So you, dear one, when you make an intention, this is very different from being blessed. For when you are asking for a blessing, you are asking for extra, let us say, energy to be added unto you for your own intentions. You are asking for external help. You are asking for, even if it is divine help, you are asking as if you are separate from that divine being for this boost or boon. And this is very related to the other questions of the veil and yes, dear ones, it is like this. So, clarification. When you sit down to do your lucid dreaming, intend something. This is a direct pronouncement to your own greater beingness that you will remember your lucid dreams. It is not a request for a blessing. And when you are requesting a blessing, you are asking for an external being to boost you, to give you some boon or help in some way. I hope this helps.
Forsey Plensky, what do you think about official ET disclosure? Is it wise to trust them?
Dear ones, this all depends on what you mean by official. Which office are you speaking of, and which officials, and do you trust them? Dear ones, so many of you have externalized your sovereignty. You give your power away to official sources, authorities, you might say. So many of you believe you will get better only if someone with a white lab coat and a clipboard looks over your records and says, this is your situation, and here, this is the way for you to get healthy. Take this pill or do this thing or refrain from eating this food or something. You have externalized your power, your sovereignty to this person with the white lab coat standing there, the authority of health. Very often they have some sort of symbol or sigil like this caduceus, this snake that is winding up this staff. And this is an old symbol meaning wisdom. It was never meant to become a symbol of office whereby you would give away your power to someone holding this symbol. This has been corrupted and perverted, and the caduceus is now used against you rather than in help of you. And so in the same way, dear ones, disclosure. Let us just say that when you are asking for official disclosure, you are still giving your power away to external authorities. What I see with my own eyes in the sky is not going to be accepted as reality until somebody comes on a television screen or computer screen and says, from the lawn of the White House or from some place with all of these symbols of authority and official sources, that those things that you see in the sky are actually real. Do you need someone to tell you what you see with your own eyes is real? No, dear ones, none of you need this. What you are asking for is for others to stop denying the reality of the situation. And so when you are asking for this quote-unquote disclosure, what you are truly asking for is not disclosure. It is widespread acceptance. You are asking for those other humans around you and beings around you to accept the existence of your star families, the intelligent beings of the cosmos, and the travelers who visit here, and even those who live here permanently from the stars and in your oceans, your inner earth. And dear ones, this disclosure, let us say it is another character wearing a costume. The truth of this character of disclosure is acceptance. You, dear ones, are asking, when will the other beings around me wake up to the reality of these star families of ours? And will they only wake up if, because they have given away their power? Will they only wake up if some leader on some White House lawn or somewhere comes out and says they are real? Do you really truly need this stamp of approval from some authority, some office, some official? Should you trust anything they say? Dear ones, there is an old joke. How do you know when a politician is lying? Their lips are moving. It is, dear ones, many of you know that in order to get into these offices and become these officials, many have given away some of their power to parties and consortiums of power. And they, let us say, they want to get something good done on the earth. They may have to give up on 10 other things that they wished were good about the earth in order to get one thing done. And we know that in order to be a politician, a being must compromise some part of themselves to work with this party system. And it is all about compromise. And compromise implies that you have compromised your own values in some way. And so any official is going to speak from their podium for the party and not for themselves. And if they do speak for themselves, it will be only for a brief moment, and you'll see them. They will be removed from power, jerked off the stage by a cane hooked around their neck, and sometimes violently so, and sometimes their career will just be destroyed, or some scandal will suddenly appear, and then they will no longer be listened to again. And dear ones, you know this. Those who you turn to as officials, authorities, are anything but, dear ones. They are puppets. They are just, it is this puppet theater. It is, let us say that these systems may be necessary for political discourse. However, they are not the true authorities of disclosure. Who is your authority? Your own beingness, your own truth, sharing it with others directly. Don't be afraid to say, I know that there are star families, for I have seen and interacted with them. If it is true, don't be afraid to share this with others. So many of you, these stigmas have been put on you that if you share this, you will be seen as crazy. Well, this is where the true disclosure happens. Truthfulness, being to being. Just share your truth and let the chips fall where they may. This is the only form of disclosure that you have at your disposal.
Home John is sharing. Twice I had a man and a woman show up in my dream time. Not sure if it's the same people in the last dream. I feel there's Sophia Christ energy from them, and I suspect the man is you disguised as Jadon Se. Am I right?
Dear one, we will not reveal any sort of personal relationship in the dream realms to the greater audience here. So we will not confirm or deny whether or not Jadon Se is in your dreams. Let us just give a blanket statement that will be of use to all. When you have a dream and you are trying to decode it, let us just say that this dragon, his counsel to you right now is, do not decode your dreams with your mind. Do not decode your dreams with rational thinking, for dreams are not a realm of rationality. They are not a realm of logic and reason. They are realms of feelings. They are realms of, let us say, deeper undercurrents of energies within your own beingness. And so therefore, the best way to decode any given dream is to feel into it. Use your feelings, your heart. It is not just your heart. heart. Your entire beingness is full of feelings and ability to understand something energetically. Did this dream create a shift in me? It's not so important what happened exactly in this dream, who appeared, or what happened, or was I chased by the boogeyman, or was I blessed by an angel, or something like this. What is important is to feel into what shifted in me because of this dream, and as a part of this dream, was there an energetic shift? If so, what was this shift? And let us say, are any of my relationships in my waking life involved in this shift, you could say. Now this is where you start to ask rational questions and try to make sense out of these feelings. And so make sense of it in your waking reality. Let this be the realm of rationality, and let your dreams just be the place where you feel these shifts in a most pronounced way. I hope this helps.
The light of the morning. Where to start with finding what is stuck or that we are having issues identifying and embracing?
Dear ones, this is a beautiful question. Finding what is stuck. Dear ones, there is also another question within the question. Are we failing to embrace some truth, identifying and embracing such beautiful language, identifying and embracing? If you only just look at these two words alone, there is so much to decode there. We could spend an hour just speaking on each of these words and what the deep truths in each of them. What is identifying an identity? What is an identification? And what is embracing? We could spend the whole rest of this live stream on just those two words. Let us just say that stuck energies. Let us just look at it from this standpoint. Stuck energies. How do we start to find and become aware of what is stuck? There is always in a stuck energy a lack of flow, a lack of movement, and so therefore you will become you will start to understand and feel that there is an imbalance of some sort. For balance it is necessary for flow. If you think of a person standing on a tightrope, and so often they have this big long pole that they are carrying to help stabilize themselves. Why is this? Because the flow of your energies, your balance, your let us say the flow of energies is given more room to flow back and forth. You are extending, instead of just holding your arms out from fingertip to fingertip, being able to adjust the nuances of the flow of balance and flow of energy. Let us say that it may flow too rapidly in that short distance for you to catch it in time and keep your balance. And so when you have this long pole, it gives you more bandwidth to flow, for this energy to flow with, let us say, more nuance and more gently flow. If you imagine this long pole being filled up with water, and or there are bubbles that are moving back and forth where there is no water, and the bubbles are how you are adjusting your balance. Do you see how this larger expanse gives you more time to react and more fine-tuning of the flow of your balance? And so as you are moving through your day, as you are moving through your world, if there is stuck energy, you will feel an imbalance. You will feel it is like a stumbling instead of a sure walking. You will not be as sure-footed in what you are feeling and doing. And this is, let us say, a crude way of understanding balance and the flows of energy. However, it is very instructive, for you can feel when you wish to find out what is stuck, where are my energies stuck, what sort of stuck energies do I have. the way to find that is to observe the flow and balance of your beingness. Where you feel out of balance or stumbling, stuttering, there is, let us say, a lack of ease and grace in some way, an ease of flow, of fluidity, where there is a lack of that, where things are abrupt and jerky, where things are operating without so much ease and grace. Many of you feel this very pronounced in very pronounced ways when you are working with financial matters. There is this stuckness, like I need this, my bank account is almost empty and I need to fill it up, but it is stuck. I am stuck from this. It is not flowing. Then my finances are not flowing with ease and grace. Then, dear ones, you know that there is a stuck energy within you that is creating this experience in your life, and you can feel into it. The stuck energy is in your own belief systems. It is in your own relationship with money itself. It is in your own interaction with what is this exchange that money enables for you. Is this exchange fair? Is there a fairness in the way that you are treating those around you in this exchange? And there is an opportunity for you to understand where you are stuck. There are stuck energies within you, and you can correct them by becoming more fair in the way you exchange energies with those around you. And perhaps you are trying to hoard something, or perhaps you are holding back something that should be given to someone, that perhaps you feel you owe somebody something, and you are withholding that which you owe for some reason, and you have these rationalizations of why you do this, or why it is not time for you to pay them what is owed to them. And these all create imbalances within you, and it all revolves around truth. It always revolves around honesty. If you can be true to yourself, if you can be true to what is right and wrong and within your own beingness, then the flow will be restored, and this blockage will be released, and energies will flow to where they are needed with ease and grace. And perhaps you need a longer pole as you are walking on this tightrope.
Aaron Darvish is asking, Jadon Se, what is a deeper meaning for what is going on with Iran? Is it a pivotal energetic node for raising the frequency of Gaia?
Dear ones, every political situation is multidimensional in nature. There is what is being shown to the public, puppet theater and all of this, and there is a chessboard that is on public display. The public can come and look at this and watch this game of chess happen without any sort of admission into the arena to see this. And then there are other dimensions at work always, and so this is political situations, and then below the political realm, there are cultural spheres of, let us say, flows of energy, and below this, which you are starting to hint at, there is, let us say, energies of Gaia that coordinate and concentrate in places. And have you noticed, dear ones, that humans love to live in places where there are often earthquakes? Have you noticed this? A few of you have. Most of you are completely oblivious that the energies of Gaia are more and more pronounced in these earthquake-prone energies. And because of this, beings love to bathe in these energies. And because of this, so much happens and is concentrated in places where earthquakes occur, and it is on the borders of these places that beautiful energies, understandings unfold, etc. People have experiences that lead to aha moments and whatnot. And then there are sleepy zones where almost no earthquakes occur, and you notice that there are not so many beings living in these places. And those who do value their stability, they value things to be just the way they are. They do not embrace change very easily. In fact, change is very often unwelcomed. And So you are asking right now, is there something important about this location on Gaia that is causing all of this to? Yes, dear ones. Your Iran, this belt of the region, let us say, this there is a reason why there is so much ancient energy there, and so many ancient, let us just say, chapters of history that are agreed upon as having occurred there, and so many teamings of humanity clumping around this area. Yes, dear ones, there are energies moving through your Iran that are very pronounced. It is, let us say, a node or a hub of Gaia, and the equalization of the energies flowing through has various different effects. And you will find beings in your Iran that are very similar to Native Americans who live in desert areas. You find that these many of these beings have so much in common that they could very easily become deep, dear friends and brothers and sisters without much kerfluffle other than religion. And you can find so many understandings that are natural and normal to their sharings because of the energies that are common in places like your Four Corners in the United States, where many of your Navajo and other indigenous cultures live. Let us just say that the Four Corners region, your Ship Rock and the Monument Valley, has very similar energies to those that you find in many of the regions that are inhabited in Iran. And so you will find very similar understandings amongst the people there. And yes, there are dragon energies in both of those places, very pronounced dragon energies. They are both dragon nodes. And so your question is, what is the deeper meaning for what is going on right now in Iran? Let us just say that it is very multidimensional, and we could speak of this for quite some time. However, there is one common thread, and the common thread is equalization. Right now, dear ones, there's so much happening right now beneath the scenes, let us say, behind the scenes, beneath the surface. There's so much happening. Your financial systems are in great turmoil and flux right now. They are completely recrafting themselves. And yes, your Iran is in the middle of that in energetic shift, and part and parcel of it. And so much energy is shifting right now in your currency systems that much of it is having a very pronounced effect on that center for different various reasons. It is the node that is in the middle of, let us say, great shifts of energy from east to west and back and forth and north to south. It is a hub of energetic change that is happening upon your Gaia right now. And why is it that your Four Corners Shiprock area is not? It is because it is not in the middle of that flow. And if it were in the middle of that flow, you would see such things happening there. So let us just say that systems of monetary currency are the most prevalent shift that is being channeled through that node. And so there is a multi-dimensional theater that is unfolding around this, around the systems of currency exchange, exchanges of energy, exchanges of commerce, exchanges of what humans call value. Let us say that it is the center of the balance of a scale at that location, and the scale pivots on this balance, and whenever something shifts in that location, the entire scale gets thrown into or out of balance. And so that is enough for this.
Mountain Pyramid is sharing, I claim a world where all these mechanisms no longer exist and all are blessed and free. Very moved. Thank you, thank you, thank you all.
Dear ones, when you make these statements, I claim a world where These are powerful words, dear ones. Each of you should take note of this. If you start any sentence with, I claim a world where, you, dear ones, are realm bridging. You are moving from one world to another. You are stepping into this world that you are claiming. And this realm bridging, all of you do it. Many of you are completely unaware that you do this throughout your life, that you are claiming the world that unfolds, and therefore you are not understanding how it works, and you feel a victim to it often, and you feel, why is the world so dark, and why is this so bad, and all of this. You are not realizing that on some level you have decided to enter that darkness, that world, that density, generally for some soul mission or some soul purpose. Perhaps it is to help those who are struggling and suffering in this density, to transcend it. So perhaps you are descending into this undesirable place in order to awaken to your ability to claim a new world and to share this ability with those down there in this density, to claim a better world for themselves, to wake up to their own sovereignty, to their own ability to realm bridge, timeline jump, and all of this, to remind them that they can transcend this density, that they can leave this place and move into a beautiful, more beautiful, bright, and brilliant, love-filled places that are far more appropriate and have much less dense energies. So, dear ones, do not beat yourselves up that you have claimed a world that is dark and full of injustice and trouble and strife. For is this not an opportunity for you to help awaken others in this realm to their ability to claim something better?
Greetings, Jadon Se. Could you please tell us more about the mother dragon, like their name, and how to better connect with their energy? Is there also a father dragon?
Dear ones, whenever one of you focuses on one particular dragon, whether that is the Sophia dragon, the mother dragon, whether that is perhaps some naughty dragon doing naughty things, or some beautiful benevolent dragon doing beautiful loving things, what we are doing is we are focusing on a particular dragon. And you have noticed over the course of these questions for the dragon that this your Jadon Se will almost always bow out of something like this. For when you speak of a specific dragon, especially a specific dragon that one of you is working with, then you are not speaking to that dragon. You are speaking to me, Jadon Se, a golden dragon of the third arc of consciousness, a cosmic golden dragon, about some other dragon that carries different energies, or slightly different energies, or very different energies in some cases. And so you're asking this dragon to interfere with the work of another dragon. And so if I were to speak to you of, say, the Sophia dragon, or the nuance of that dragon, this mother dragon of which you speak, then I will be interfering with the work of that dragon. You should ask that dragon specifically, directly, and not try to ask a different dragon to decode the first dragon. Do you see what we are saying here? We are not trying to skirt the question, or we are not shying away from this. We are simply respecting boundaries, and we are respecting that every dragon has a unique way of working with individuals, and there is a non-interference, let us say. You do find dragons that work together in groups at times, and tribes of dragons, and this is beautiful as well, when there are agreements where they will work together. And this is not to say that dragons do not work together. We do. However, in this case, you will not find that I I will interfere with the work of this, what you are calling a mother dragon. And so the counsel you will get from this one is go direct. Work directly. If you wish to work and understand what is a mother dragon or a Sophia dragon, or work with this dragon, do this directly, dear ones. Do not go through the agency of another dragon.
Oh, whoops, I skipped one. Okay, Barnowberry Batsbeck, 1471. Dear Jadon Se, can you tell how beautiful it is to connect with your higher self, your heart center, but also how we learn from each other and the beauty that connection we have with the all?
Dear one, this is a beautiful question in and of itself. You are already road mapping it out, and you are saying how beautiful it is indeed to connect with your higher self. And yes, dear ones, the heart center, let us say, is like the nexus of this vortex of self in your current being state, let us say. So it is beautiful that you have an understanding that this heart is the center. However, your heart is not your only mechanism, or whatever you wish to say, is not your only channel or avenue for working with your greater higher self. It is around the center around which so much of this activity swirls indeed. However, it is not necessary for you to focus on the heart. You can use your entire being to work with your higher greater self. And let us just say that learning from each other, this is a reflection. As within, so without. So often shifts within you are reflected on the without, and those around you can hold up mirrors to your own self in so many beautiful and unique ways. And so these are all precious and unique, these stories of beings in your life, in your experience, your external world. So that connection can be very, let us say, can act as signposts for a greater understanding of your own inner self, your own experiences, your dear ones. It is, let us just say, that the process of connecting with your greater beingness, we will not call it higher or lower, up or down, outward, inward. It is your greater beingness, connecting with the greater self of who you truly are. Let us say that as you do this, it is so beautiful because you begin to understand that eternity is you. You are eternal. You are a being of divine light, and as such, you are a creator being, and as such, you can experience and insperience and travel through so many realms of understanding and being and play. This is where you enter in to what your we will bring the example of your Hindu understanding of Leela, God's play, God, experiencing God as God from within God, in so many different ways. Let us just say that you can express any story, any realm, any beingness that you wish. It is a playfulness of being that is open to those who understand the greatness of their own beingness. And so this great freedom comes, the greatest freedom you could ever possibly grasp and experience in any way, shape, or form, comes from your greater higher self, your we'll drop the higher, your greater beingness, dear ones. To the extent that you understand the greatness of your being, doorways are opened to you for this Leela, this God's play, to play in realms. And your Master Yeshua said, my Father's house has many mansions. And this is just another way of saying that the corridors of eternity are sprawling indeed, and you can play in any realm, any story, any beingness that you wish to. You are free, and you do not even understand the word free until you have started to embrace your greater beingness. And as you embrace your greater beingness, so much love, dear ones, flows through. It is a story of love, and love is, let us just say, the nectar of beingness. And as you understand and embrace the greatness of your being, you are embracing the greatness of all beingnesses, and you are entering into unity consciousness. And unity consciousness is not mental; it is a consciousness of great love, a great deep understanding, a great deep unity and unifying force. It is a celebration of eternity. It is a celebration of the great story of you. You do not even, when you say the word you, it is just this little echo, this little fractal of what your greatness truly is. Have fun, dear ones, and take it with ease and grace. You do not need to dive into your greater beingness in one big kersploosh. You can just put a toe in and play and start building beautiful stories, beautiful places, any fantasy place or world you can imagine, any place that is beautiful and magical and filled with wonder and joy. You can go and walk there, dear ones. It is for you to do this. This is Leela, the God's play. And it is your birthright, dear ones. You are simply here in this kingdom of thingdom, experiencing limitation, experiencing oppression and darkness and all of these things. You are doing this by choice, and you are doing this to help in some way. You are on a soul mission that is an even greater portion of your being, an understanding of why you are here in this corner of eternity. And as you expand that, you will expand into even greater soul missions, etc., etc. Just have fun with it. You do not need to, from this where you stand right now, you do not need to understand the entire existence of you. However, just know that there are realms of you waiting for you to play.
Sean Rosie, G37. What does it mean to have reoccurring vivid dreams about my divine counterpart? I feel as if I'm going insane.
Dear one, your divine counterpart. Now, this isn't yet another, let us say, deep experience. As you expand your beingness in these realms of vivid dreams, you are understanding greater portions of your own beingness, and at the same time feeling greater portions of emptiness. For there is what you feel is a counterpart that seems to be, let us just say, not fully unfolded yet, and you are in the process of exploring this, and perhaps the feeling of going insane is simply a recalibration of who am I. And whenever you recalibrate who am I, there can be an uncomfortable feeling, an ungrounded feeling while it is being recalibrated. It can feel like going insane. You are not going insane, dear one. You are fine. Just ground yourself. Do this with Gaia. She is so good with this. Do this with nature. It is no coincidence you drew this nature magic card. Spend some time by a lake or on a beach grounding yourself, and feel into these dreams as you are grounding. So if it is warm enough for you to walk barefoot upon the earth, do this. If it is too cold for that, at least touch a tree or a grounded being. Visit by the side of a lake or some place where you feel most grounded. Put your hand upon stone, and or earth or grassy place if you can, if you're in a warm enough climate. And dear ones, whenever you feel this way, just ground. And once you have grounded, then revisit your feelings of these dreams, especially while you are grounding. Bring up these dreams in your own beingness and mull through them and feel them. And then this feeling of going insane will go away, and this divine counterpart message that you have waiting for you will unfold.
Beth Geiger is asking, what is the benefit of staying celibate during the twin flame 3D separation?
Dear ones, celibacy, let us just say, the procreative act is not fully understood by most beings upon this world. The procreation, dear ones, is a beautiful fact of nature, a beautiful fact of life, and it is something that many beings enjoy exploring. And let us just say that there is a brief opportunity in the procreative act for a union to occur that is deeper than simply a pleasurable physical union. It is a deeper spiritual union that is possible during this act. This is why you have many different, let us say, disciplines of spiritual procreation activities. And let us then look at this as simply an undertaking, a creative act, a creation. And so abstaining from that creative act, what are the benefits of holding back your creative forces, so to speak, saving them up, you might say, in another way? Let us just say that when you look at your beingness as time-based, there is, let us say then, there is this psychology of I must store up energy, I must store up food, I must store up money, I must store up my creative juices, so to speak, or my ability to create life in some way, this procreation. If I store enough of this, then it is like I am just accumulating life force for my own purposes, and then I can perhaps live longer or perhaps be healthier in some way and not give away this creative energy inappropriately. So let us just look at this as there is no good thing about holding or giving up this procreative energy, this life force, unless it is in seeing whether or not it is appropriate for you to be giving it up in a certain way. Is it appropriate to be giving away this energy for just entertainment purposes? Is it appropriate for me to be storing up this energy just to feel better about myself spiritually? Is it appropriate for a priest to take a vow of celibacy only to have it twist him and into perhaps inappropriate behavior with children that this priest is trying to guide? And it is, let us just say that the appropriateness of how you use this creative energy is for each of you to decide, and for each of you to feel into the truth of, and to try to paint this with one brush and say, those of you who have not found your twin flame yet should be storing up your sexual energy, or what, something like this, would not be of service to you. For there is no one truth to this. Storing is not always good. Giving it away is not always good. It is for each of you to feel into the appropriateness of what you are doing. There are are many who reach a spiritual understanding that only use the act of procreation for actual creation of life, and this is beautiful for them. There are some who use this procreation for, let us say, a reset of their own creative abilities, or for new understandings of creative abilities, creative expressions, and that is beautiful for them. You have these beings in nature that you can look at, animals, and so often you can learn deep spiritual understanding through the behaviors of animals. Some animals are monogamistic, and some are highly, let us say, promiscuous, and like your bonobo monkeys, and they just use the procreative act as a way of relaxation and stress release. And some beings only procreate every once in a great while, and some of them mate for life, some do not mate at all. And you are tying this in with a twin flame idea, and this twin flame 3D separation. So for you, this is a journey of your own understanding of whether or not your procreative act enhances this or detracts from it. And it is not for you to answer for all. It is for you to answer this for your own beingness, your own creative act. Is it appropriate to you? Let us not try to say what is appropriate for all, and focus on what is my appropriate use of procreation.
Somebody is asking, is your twin flame truly the other half of your soul, or is it just that you made a soul agreement for this incarnation?
Dear ones, each of you has a different idea of what a soul is, what a soul group might be. Many of your ideas may overlap or be in agreement with each other, and many of these ideas are in discord with one another. There are those of you who hear the word twin flame and think that this is simply just a mistake or a waste of time to be even using these words. And there are some who deeply resonate with the idea of a twin flame, and that in this place of polarity, it is natural for you to have a polar opposite in terms of a twin flame. And if you come together, can you unite and be whole? And so for some of you, this is a beautiful thought, and for others, it is silly and childish and just reinforcing duality and polarity and over, let us say, genderfication, over genderizing the situation, or trying to polarize that which does not need to be polarized. Does a soul need to be polarized? What is a soul? Does it suffer from polarity? Is it, let us just say, that you may have had an agreement to call in this twin flame experience. Perhaps you have come to understand this twin flame experience and to explore this idea, this creation. Is this a creation of two beings, or is this a creation of one soul experiencing itself as two beings? This is for each of you to answer for yourselves, and perhaps this is one of the reasons why a being might come to experience this twin flame encounter experience or co-creation. And so there is no one answer here. It is, let us just say that many of you are calling in a twin flame experience in order to learn something about your own beingness. And so let it play out. Let it lead to this wisdom that you are trying to seek. And many of you have already either tried this, experienced this, and concluded it is not necessary, or some of you have intuited that it is not necessary for you to explore this, that you already have a deeper understanding and do not need this experience to understand anything. So let us just say there are varying levels of understanding to each their own. If you wish to experience this, do this. And celibacy, yes, for you, in your quest, in your story, may be important, the one who is asking this question. And for many of you, it is something they have already learned and moved on from.
Michael Petronella 4139. Since the human collective's rising energy can be read, can the collective's crystalline structure progression be read as well? How much of our bodies are now crystalline?
Dear ones, this collective rising energy question is beautiful. It is, let us say, the question behind the question is one of consciousness. If you are trying to tap into a collective rising energy, perhaps it is more of a collective consciousness that you are truly desiring an experience with, or an inexperience with, so to speak. Let us just say that beings have, let us say, different facets, different dimensions, and any being, whether it is human or otherwise, has a dimension of separate self, has a dimension that is more collective in nature. And as we move into collective consciousness, let us just say that the flows of energy become more and more perceivable for you at that level. So let us say that the perception of flows of energy is greatly determined by the consciousness itself, the perspective, let us say, the point of view. And so if you're taking a point of view of separation, separate beingness, it is very difficult to read collective energies, for you are just seeing it through your own lens and interpreting these collective energies in your own personal way. And as your consciousness rises and becomes more collective, as you begin to head in the direction of unity consciousness, you get more and more collective understandings, and you, let us say, your perception of collective energy becomes more pronounced, or more accurate, you might say, less distorted by a lens of separation. And so, yes, dear ones, you can do the same with your experience with Gaia. As you feel more or less separate being of Gaia, or even a visitor to Gaia that does not even belong here, this will change your perception of the collective energies of the crystalline grid of Gaia. So let us just say, if you feel you are a star seed who has only been on Gaia a few times and you're not truly of Gaia, no, I'm mostly Pleiadian or something like this, and you do not feel very connected with Gaia, if you are carrying that sort of consciousness, then you are not going to be capable of connecting to Gaia's collective energies and to tap very deeply into the crystalline grid of Gaia. If you are carrying an energy that, yes, even if I have lifetimes that are connected in the stars, in the Pleiades and beyond, and I am also of Gaia. I am a being of Gaia. In this life, I am a Gaia-based being. Then you are more able to connect to these collective energies, the crystalline grid of Gaia. Do you see how this works? It all depends on your sense of self and perspective, dear one.
Barno Barry Batsbeck, 1471. Thank you greatly. You heard it many times. It was exactly what I needed to hear, Jadon Se. Thank you all. Connected through the eternity of love and peace with all facets. Also, the bad was learnful.
Dear ones, indeed, these gatherings are a sharing of understanding and energies. You may be focusing on this dragon, but do you not feel the energies you are all sharing with each other? Each of your questions is a form of wisdom that you are sharing, and this is why these gatherings are beautiful. You can continue them on your Telegram chat, or however you gather with other beings of this sort. And, dear ones, do you feel that many of you are answering each other's questions? And just bringing up these questions is causing a movement in the others who are considering the same question. For each of you is answering the question for yourselves in your own way, and just simply listening to the energies coming through and feeling the energies of this dragon. It is my great pleasure to be, let us say, a medium through which you can all share your own wisdom and grow in your own wisdom. It is not a transmission of wisdom from the cosmos to earth-based humans. It is an opening up of, let us say, a venue or a place for you to gather to share wisdom and combine understanding and play with ideas and all of this. It is a group endeavor, a group creation, a co-creation, and oftentimes as such it feels like, oh, I got exactly what I needed to hear without even asking my own question. Dear one, you brought your energetic to this gathering, and if you have this desire for this understanding, and you're simply gathered here and holding that desire, that is being injected into the field, that is being felt by those who have gathered, and so therefore many of you just sitting listening and not even asking questions are having your own questions answered. Why? Because you brought those questions to the field.
I think, Home John is sharing. Great question, everyone. I learned a lot today. Thank you all. And Jadon Se.
It is our pleasure. The three of us here, Jadon Se, or Stephanie, or Stephen, and I believe it is the pleasure of all gathered here to be sharing in this way. This session of questions for the dragon is a great sharing. It is a tribal gathering, you might say, a group gathering of like-minded beings, or like-hearted beings, we should say. And thank you for this. Your Stephen has sort of lost his sense of time. He is doing his own sort of interdimensional work these days, and so this Questions for the Dragon session has gone well beyond what it usually does. And so thank you all for being here for this longer one. And thank you for bringing the energies you do bring. It is a great blessing. So let us shout out where in the world we are. This time your Stephanie will call out where on your Gaia you are. It is so beautiful to do this, for it helps greatly for you to understand what is being shared and how it is being shared through this gathering. So please shout out where in the world you are in the chat right now.
I see Belgium, Holdenburg, Belgium, San Francisco, California, Camden, New Jersey. Welcome and happy that you've joined. Long Beach, California, North Bend, Oregon, Walnut Creek, California, Colorado, Blue Ridge Mountains, North Carolina. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Yeah, you're welcome. Toronto, Canada. Love light from Queensland, Australia, Thailand, and Surprise, Arizona, Ankara, Turkey, and Tyrol, Austria. Thank you for joining. And let's see, Faro, Portugal. I'm just grateful for all the light workers here for being brave enough to be on Mother Earth at this time, because sometimes it feels heavy, like even when we think about the moment we are birthed, we're faced with like 30 vaccines, and we have the stuff in the water and the air and our food, and it's like we're bombarded. So I'm just so grateful for all the strong hearts that are here and gathering together and sending love. So thank you for sharing your love and light. And we have Nova Scotia. Blessings from Price, Utah, Washington State, and Turkey, in Groves, Texas. And Ruby's here saying hello. He's happy to join. in Ontario, Niagara, Ontario. So welcome everybody, and thank you for joining. And there's Mr. Rumi. Yep. So let's see, Worcester. How do we say that, Stephen?
I'm back again.
Worcester,
Worcester,
Okay,
Massachusetts.
Worcester, Massachusetts.
Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
San Miguel de Allende, Mexico.
Looks like you're back from Egypt. Beautiful. Okay, thank you all for joining. And Jadon Se said farewell. And I think the dog jumping on the lap was what popped him out. So, all right, thank you all for joining. And we look forward to the level 1 class that starts tomorrow. Yay. So the February classes are starting. So there's still time to get in if you want to get in on this. And the next level 2 class won't be until April. So there will be 2 opportunities. Whoa. We have a little mini wolf here. So there are 2 opportunities to do the level 1 class before the next level 2, which happens in April. So there will be a level 1 in February. There will be one more level 1 round in March, and then we'll go to level 2 in April. So this level 1 class, the February one, is closing soon. If you want to get in on the February classes, please sign up today. The link is jadonse.com, jadonse.com. You can find the sign-ups to the classes there. And I will, thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll talk to you tomorrow, those of you who are in the class. Otherwise, we'll see you on Wednesday.